Good morning, learners. My name is Sandra L Ngwenya, and I am a tutor at Apex Academy. I am going to be taking you through your EMS lesson today, and we are going to be dealing with entrepreneurship. What is entrepreneurship? So there's a few terms that you are going to meet as we are going to go through today's lesson. You are going to meet terms such as buying and selling, innovation, market research, producing, competitors, profit, loss, and so forth. So these are some of the terms that you probably do not use on your daily basis as you live your life. So when we look at buying and selling, this is something that we do almost each and every day of our lives. We go get things from the shops, and in return, we give the people that we are selling to money, and we also sell as entrepreneurs. We also have got innovation. This is a term that plays a bigger role when it comes to an entrepreneur. As an entrepreneur, you might find yourself being somebody who is very innovative. So you definitely meet this term. You also meet the term market research. So as an entrepreneur, you will find that you might need to go and sell somewhere, and you need to check and do some market research. Is the market fit for the product that you want to sell? Is the market safe? Is the market going to bring you the expected profit? So you find yourself researching about the market, and even before you think of what to sell, you might want to research about the market and find out the needs of the market so that you can meet them as you continue your journey as an entrepreneur. You will find that you might also be in a position to want to produce or know the kind of product that the society needs, that your target market needs. You will also find definitely competitors in the industry. As you can see, even today, it is not one shop that sells perfumes. It is not one shop that sells masks. It is not one shop that sells clothes, different types of clothes. And this is what we call our competitors. So whatever product that you might decide to sell wherever, you will always have competitors, and you need to think about those. Remember what we once discussed a few weeks ago, the SWOT analysis. So you then need to find out the external competitors that might affect you, and you need to know how to deal with it. You need to up your game. You need to know how to make your product to be the one that is in demand more than your competitors' one. You will definitely meet the word profit. The very main reason why you are an entrepreneur is because as much as you want to meet the needs of the society or the certain group or the certain market, it is because you want to make profit. You want to make a living. You want to have some extra money for you to cater for yourself and for the business, for it to keep running. You will also find the word loss. This is one term that none of the entrepreneurs wish for. This is when the money that you've invested in your business does not produce the profit expected. It actually goes lower. So you put in 10 Rand into your business and you find out that you can't bring back even maybe 5 Rand. You didn't gain any profit. This is one said situation. So what is an entrepreneur? What is entrepreneurship? Entrepreneurship involves the use of innovation because you as an entrepreneur must find something new and useful to provide or sell, should be doing things differently. this goes back to the point that I was trying to emphasize, that you then need to do your market research as an entrepreneur to find which product will definitely bring you profit, which product will definitely meet the needs of the market that you need, that you are focusing on. So as an entrepreneur, usually you have to find something that has never been found, or something extra. You find some of you prefer to go to Spur instead of Wimpy. Some of you prefer to go to Steers because of probably Spur. So this is usually influenced by the different approach that the entrepreneurs use to get their customers. So you find that at Spur, on your birthday, they will sing for you and give you a special treatment on your birthday. And you find that most people then get attracted by that. That is what entrepreneurs do. They put in some extra work to attract the customers to come buy from them and not their competitors. So I hope you understand and get the gist of entrepreneurship. All right, so to make money as an entrepreneur, you must buy goods or raw materials. So this is a tip that you're also getting, that you will need to go get goods. If you want to run a spaza shop, you will have to go and stock some rations and stock some cheese, and making sure that you're stocking them at a lower price so that you can make more profit, so that your pricing can also be not as bad as the money that you used to buy. You might also be forced to just get raw material. I mean, when you make a kota, you would have started from scratch, getting the cheese, getting the chips, the rations, and everything. And then you bring out a product that you are able to then sell to your market. You must also produce goods or deliver services. So if you are delivering services or if you're producing goods, this might be a form of your, this might be your services as an entrepreneur. You also need to sell your goods or services. So you might need to be the originator of what you are selling, or you might need to produce or go get them somewhere and then sell them to your market. You definitely need to make profit. It's all about the profit. The business will need to go on. You will also need to earn a living. And this can only be determined by the type or the kind of profit that you get from your business. So what is the difference between buying and selling? A person will buy a product at a certain price, add profit, and sell it at a higher price. So for an example, you might go and get perfumes, 10 perfumes for 10 Rand each. And you will need to make sure that when you are then selling them, you then add your markup so you can get profit from that. So a lot of things that you need to look at, are you selling them at a shop? Are you buying them at a very lower price, so that enough profit to keep the business running can be made from the business still? So entrepreneurs take certain actions to create a successful business. So these actions might be a lot. There's a lot that the entrepreneurs do, all coming from the fact that an entrepreneur has to be innovative. So you might need to run your business online. You might need to do a door-to-door. You might think of a tuck shop at an office park, and then just to make sure that your services are that excellent, you deliver from office to office. In the morning, you take orders, and you deliver during lunch, you deliver during break time, and while others are moving from the offices and going to the tuck shop. Okay, so it does not matter what kind of business it is. The rules are the same. Your business needs to be effective. your business needs to bring in profit. A business can only be successful if it brings in more money than it spends. In other words, it must make profit. So we keep meeting the word profit. If the business is not making profit, then the business is not doing good. Then some action needs to be taken to make sure that the business brings in profit. So what do entrepreneurs do to try and achieve this? We are going to look at buying and selling, producing, and making a profit. So buy goods or raw materials. So this is a way of trying to, achieve this. Purchase goods to sell them. Purchase raw materials that they can use to make their products. Buy at a price low enough so they can sell it at a profit. So this is to you as an entrepreneur. You need to make sure that the raw materials that you're buying, if the quarter is going to cost 10 rand, at least the cheese should be bought with 50 cents, the Russian with another 2 rand. Let it not go. The money you use to stock your raw materials, which is in this case the cheese and the chips and all that, should not go over at least 6 rand. It should not. It should not. At most, ensure that their goods and raw materials bought are a high quality. So you still need to stick to raw high quality. Your services, your business, they need to be high quality. For buying finished goods, let us take an example of a tuck shop. A business that acts as a middleman between the producer of goods and the consumers that want to buy those things is called a retail business. So a tuck shop is an example of a retail business. A tuck shop is a retail business. The retail business will get its products from a bulk wholesaler like Macro, where the price is lower than a local market. Some people are creative and like to make things. Entrepreneurs with these characteristics may prefer to produce goods sourced. Another entrepreneur would want to make the cheese from scratch. For example, somebody can make muffins to sell it to the children at school. Another person wants to make traditional dresses and sell them to the local community. Should set up a production process that is quick and efficient and reduces waste to a minimum. So you need to avoid waste. This is how you also make sure that you keep tracing your profit properly. Spend more time to sell the goods than to produce it. Make sure that the right amount of goods are produced. So you don't want a case where you have produced more than what you need. You also do not want a case where you produce less. Less is better, but more, especially if you are running a retail business such as a tuck shop, you cannot afford to have too much of bread. You can't afford to have too much of chips, because these are perishables. They might perish, and you might lose a lot of money from your business, which might lead to a loss. Sell your goods and services. Entrepreneurs start business to supply unmet needs, must identify a need or want. Selling is the action of persuading customers to buy a product or service. Must know who your competitors are. Selling involves talking to customers and explaining to them how a product works, or telling a customer about the benefits of a product or a service. Selling is the action of persuading customers. You need to be a very kind, a very nice person for you to be an entrepreneur, because you are dealing with people. You will need to be very nice, even in times when it's very difficult to be nice, because customers can be very difficult. You need to be very aware of who your competitors are, such that you might know where to up your game, such that you might know what to do and when to do it. They might be delivering breakfast, you might need to deliver lunch, just so you don't become in conflict, and you also do not end up running a loss because they are selling the same product as you. So there are a lot of factors to look at when it comes to competitors. So you also need to practice. You might need to learn more languages because you will be talking to people, different customers from different places. They might be Zulu speaking, they might be Xhosa speaking, and all you know is English. That might make you to lose customers. Human beings always want to feel valued, and they want to feel loved and needed. And if you grasp that, those things that I've just spoken about, you will be able to even make more money. Some people, customers are very funny. They are able to buy from a business all because the person that's selling is always smiling. So you need to have real good customer service. So make a profit. An entrepreneur cannot start a business and do not have the aim to make a profit. So you will not do the business for the sake of sharing or providing a service to the customers, to the society. The other very main reason should be that you want to make profit. So what is profit? A profit is when your income is more than your expenses. So what is profit? Let's say you've got 10 rand and you put in 10 rand into your business, or you're buying everything, and you sell whatever you are selling, and you come up with 25 rand. So from the money that you used to get your raw materials and whatsoever, and the roundup money is 10 rand. That means the 15 rand from the 25 rand is your profit. So this profit, you might split it and do whatever with it, but it also helps keep the business running. When an entrepreneur is still in the business planning stages, it is important to remember that there are other expenses called overhead. So in running a business, overheads are running expenses like rent, electricity, water, and transport costs. So for example, let's say you are working at an office park in Midrand and you stay in Rosebank. You will need transport to go to Midrand. You might need some petrol for your car. You might need to catch a taxi. Where your shop is, you might need to pay for electricity, for water. Since you're working with food, you might need to always keep your place clean, and that means using water. And the water obviously does not come for free. The electricity does not come for free. And the rent. These are the expenses that are involved to get the product or service to the customer, especially transportation. You may need to transport your goods and services depending on what business you are running. A lot of entrepreneurs are failing or do not make a big profit because they do not plan for this overhead. So in your business, you need to plan each and every single activity that happens. This includes the overhead. So if you are going to buy salt, even if salt is less than 10 rand, you need a record of that, because without the 10 rand, you cannot go get the salt. And without the 10 rand, if you get the 10 rand from the business, it has gone minus 10 rand. So you need to know all these things and plan ahead for them, so that you also are able to trace your profits and your losses. And you can also use the SWOT analysis, as we've discussed before, to try and plan properly, especially for the overheads. So this marks the end of our lesson. We are, however, going to get questions, comments, and soon after that, we need to complete activity 1 and activity 2. It is a very simple one. Number 1 says the skill of an entrepreneur. So you need to use the word bank to find the answers to the questions below. So we have discussed what innovation is. We've discussed what competitors are, risk takers, retail business, overhead, bulk wholesaler, you're definitely getting a 6 out of 6. So as soon as you are finished with the classwork number 1, which will need you to take at least 10 minutes to complete, we also have number 2, which says define a retail business. You want to sell lollipops at school, you can buy the lollipops at R1 each from a wholesaler. What is a wholesaler? For how much will you sell the lollipops to the learners at school? Why do you have to sell it for more than R1? So these questions, if you are looking at them, they are trying to shape you to become a very competitive entrepreneur. This marks the end of our lesson. Until next time, thank you very much.